For some reason my camera locked up. So where are we now? We are in Covington. This is where the Vampire Diaries, and I know I'm going to sound like a complete fruit for being into Vampire Diaries. Shut up. I don't care. It's awesome. It's a great show. So so they do a lot of filming in Georgia, man. I mean, everybody knows about the Walking Dead and the Avengers movies, Ozark. All kinds of stuff is filmed here in Georgia. And so here in Covington is where they filmed was it 8 seasons? There was the Vampire Diaries. And then a little bit of some of the scenes from the originals, but most of that was filmed 2 towns down in Conyers, Georgia, where they made it look like the French Quarter of New Orleans. And now Legacies is filmed here. So there's the clock tower. So if you've seen the show, that is the clock tower. Here's the town square, and it's a destination spot. There are a ton of people that come down here just for this. Again, mainly like teenage girls. So if I was like a 17-year-old dude, this would be the place to go to meet chicks. But here's where they do all the filming. There's the square. Did a lot of filming there. But yeah, I don't know what this chowderhead's doing. So waiting for a spot. No. We're just going to go around the square and look for a spot. If not, we'll park behind the restaurant. But yeah, there's the square. Oh, right there, right there. Damn it. Right there. See, couldn't do that in a car. So here we are. There's a square. Tons of fans, I'm sure. This is definitely a cool place. And the restaurant's great. Restaurant's straight across. There's Jonathan. But yeah, no, they changed some of the names on some of the buildings here in the show. But Mystic Grill is straight across. That's the place with the green over there on the other side of that statue. So, pretty cool. A lot of scenes they filmed right here. So, anyway, we'll be back later. What I'm going to do is Google where the Salvatore house is. That's on the way back. We'll take a different way home and see if we can find the Salvatore house where they filmed all that. It's later afternoon now. It was like a 45-minute wait for a table. The place is hopping. But it's a really cool town. And apparently there's a convention in town. So Ian Somerhalder and like most of the cast for Vampire Diaries is actually here today. But they're down at a convention somewhere. But apparently they were all at the restaurant last night. If I didn't have dogs at home in the crates, I'd be hanging out just to see if I get pictures with them. So it's also really cool if you watch a show. So here's Mystic Grill. So I mean, they filmed so much of it, like right there on those benches in the alleyway over there. And there's the restaurant. There's the clock tower. And here, if you're a fan of the show, here are the actual cars for the show. The blue one is Damon's car. And then you've got Stefan's old Porsche right there. Very cool. So we're going to head out of town here. And I've got GPS navigating to the filming location for the Salvatore house. So there's a 14,000 square foot mansion. Damn it, what's the name of it? Can't remember it. But in the show it's known as the Salvatore house. And in Legacies, that's still the Salvatore house for the gifted, where all the young little vampires and werewolves, and yes, I said werewolves, because they're werewolves. Dogs make wolf noises. And magicians and all that kind of stuff. They all go to that school. So it's like Kent Rock Manor or something like that. I think that's what it is. I think it's Kent Rock Manor where they filmed the show. I don't know how close we'll be able to get to it, but it's sort of on the way home, so we're going by it. Because that's the kind of lame fanboy I am, that I don't care who knows it. So we had lunch there at, oh, and so here's another thing. So we're sitting there and waiting outside. We're out at one of those benches, which again, actors are sitting on the benches a lot of times during some of the filming and stuff, some of the scenes there. And Jonathan's like, that looks like the actor for Rick Grimes. I'm like, Andrew Lincoln? And I heard him talking, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, that's the dude. That is Rick Grimes from Walking Dead. And I know that they're, they do a lot of filming down in Georgia, so they could be here, or he could be, that's down in Sonoya. But for whatever reason, he could be up here. But I heard him talk, and I know he's either British or Australian or something like that. And I'm like, this guy's got a little bit of a southern drawl. But I was like, it's like, is it him? And I'm looking at him like, I really thought it was him. But then I'm like, it can't be. But he looked that close that we're just staring at this dude. And we're like, that is Rick from The Walking Dead. So finally, I just go, he was only like 20 feet away, so and it wasn't that many people around. So I just was like, hey, how many times a day do you get asked if you're Rick from The Walking Dead? He's like, well, I'm a professional lookalike, and I do a lot of the shows and circuits and promotional stuff. And so we just started talking to him. He gave us an autographed picture, and we're sitting there chatting with him for a while. Really cool dude. And Jonathan went and bummed a cigarette off of him. Like, we done talking with him, and then he's over there smoking. Like 5 minutes later, John comes like, can I get one of those cigarettes? I was like, oh my God, dude. So we're talking to him again, and then we get called. We go into the restaurant. We're sitting right in front of the front door there. And just, people watching and stuff like that, and waiting for our food. And he comes in, and he ends up sitting at the table next to us. So we chatted a little bit more, and then he doesn't know it yet, but his tab for his party is paid for. I picked up his check and tip and stuff like that, so we just told him to enjoy his lunch and said goodbye, and they'll get a nice little surprise in about half an hour when they go to leave. So anyway, yeah, I know. It's a cool show. If you haven't watched it, watch it. And especially if you do like it, the originals is excellent. It's a lot darker. It's a lot more violent. The characters, it's a smaller cast, but it is really, really good. So anyway, it's going to take us like 20 minutes to get up towards the tour house, and I'm not going to just sit here and ramble on like a teenage fangirl the whole time, so I'll shut the camera off and then we'll come back in a little bit. But it was pretty cool seeing their cars outside. I was really hoping that they would come into the restaurant, because apparently they were all up there on the rooftop section last night, the whole cast, and that would have been awesome. I would have been like a little girl then. And my wife, Donna, if you're watching this, so every couple has their list, of celebrities they're allowed to shag. Nina Dobrev was on my list. So, if I ran into her there, I feel like I would have to. Yeah, kidding. But it would be cool to meet her. She's pretty cool. So, actually, I would like to meet Ian Somerhalder. If you haven't watched Vampire Diaries, you probably know him as Boone from Lost. He was Shannon's sister. He got killed towards the end of the first season when him and Locke were trying to get that up in that plane that was up in the canopy, and it fell, and he got really injured and died. So that's Ian Somerhalder. He's one of the main characters in this show. Anyway, we'll catch up with you cats later when we get over towards the mansion. Alright, I want to make sure my camera's rolling, so and I can always edit this out. Digging this bike. Now, as bad as this seat was when I first rode it, it's actually, it's hard, but it's not uncomfortable. All that aside. Alright, so it's on this road, because it's Kent Rock Manor, and this is Kent Rock Road. Alright, we're 2 miles down this road. It's a beautiful area. So this is Loganville, Georgia. There's a lot of beautiful areas in in Georgia, man. Up where Ron lives and stuff was freaking amazing yesterday. You got Lake Lanier, and where we live. You got the mountains. I'm not sure how much of the house we're going to get to see from the road. It is set back a little bit. But we'll pull up to the driveway maybe if we can, if it's not blocked. Nice twisty little road. Certainly giving the suspension a workout. Alright, so now we're in Walton County. It's beautiful out here though. Jonathan's back there probably dragging hard parts through the turns. The thing does not have good ground clearance. But he's enjoying the ride. And he was enjoying making fun of me at Mystic Grill. I had a waitress he was flirting with. She was really cute. And he's sitting there flirting with her and making fun of me. I was going to order a White Claw. Like, all right, I'll be your wingman. If making fun of me makes you look cooler in her eyes, I will take one for the team, buddy. But then I ordered like a citrus light beer, like not light like Coors Light, but some kind of IPA that's like citrusy, and he goes and orders the same goddamn beer. It's like you just get done implying that I'm a little light in the loafers for liking, whatchamacallit, White Claws, then you would go and order the same beer as me. It is gorgeous back here. I can't imagine what this house costs. I think I remember reading somewhere that it was like $7 million or something. It's like a 14,000 square foot home. I think it's like a Tudor style. The pool in the backyard is amazing. Like, if you watch the show, you see the... But look at this stuff out here. So it's in here past a gate, so I'm probably not going to get to see it. But there it is, and there's somebody else doing the same thing. Come on. Or he's here to visit. But that is the house that they do all the shooting at. Pretty damn cool. There's the car park. I don't know if people live there year-round, but yeah, the Salvatore. Pretty damn cool. I would get out, walk around, but there could be people living there currently, in between shoots or something like that. And that person might not be a sightseer. It could be like their friend or neighbor and be like, what are you doing here? But there you go. That was the Salvatore School for the Gifted. So if you watch the show, you'll see it. So, all right, I'm going to go shut down and navigate home. And at that point, we'll start putting some video together, and you can watch it later and laugh at me for being a fan of that show. And I don't care. I'm secure enough in my own masculinity to admit I like that show. Anyway, for the people that are fans, hope you enjoy, and we'll talk to you later. So that's funny. So I thought Jonathan had to stop for gas because he's sitting there honking at me. I thought he needed to stop for gas. No, he's got to pee. There's John peeing. Hey, John. Camera's rolling. That's a weak stream. That's a weak stream. Like, it's almost like the what it's coming out of is smaller, so it's making a really thin little stream. I don't want to draw any conclusions, but
you know what it is, performance issues. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I'm hoping the waitress from the restaurant doesn't see the video. She's like, I was thinking about that guy. He's muscular. He's cute. And she saw that little weak stream, and she's like, I'm going to move on. Let's go. I got to navigate home.